Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, we finally got some rain last night. There were 11 drops. I counted them. Not been so disappointed since West Ham's defeat to Nottingham Forest this weekend. And before that, I hadn't been so disappointed since the NFDC response to the CMA investigation. Although, as you're about to hear, the NFDC is not the only trade body in the disappointment business. So, without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It is Tuesday, the 16th of August, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, disappointing and predictable in roughly equal measure. Caterpillar grabs the demolition opportunity. Avant Techno blows towards the autumn, and there is a hot new demolition project lead, this time in Cheshire. Plus, a pair of pork cranes will disappear before your very eyes. We'll get to all of that in just a second, but first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to T.E. Lawrence, better known to the world as Lawrence of Arabia. Also, happy birthday to newsreader Trevor McDonald. Happy birthday to Aussie fast bowler Jeff Thompson, Titanic director James Cameron, In Excess guitarist Tim Farriss, and to the material girl herself, Madonna. Happy birthday to comedy actor Steve Carell, Scottish comedian Frankie Boyle, and to footballer Jolyon Lescott. Many happy returns to them, one and all. I have much to say, but before we do that, I'm going to pause a while. Aman Taylor, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He is a first timer on the show, and as we all know here around these parts, somebody comes on the show for the first time, they get some welcome confetti. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. I hope you will be sticking around. Now, let me get back to whatever it was I was doing before I interrupted myself. Yes. Let me get rid of that first, and then I can get back to the proper job. Just because the outcome was precisely what you expected doesn't mean it is any less disappointing when it arrives. So for weeks, I've been trying to speak to anyone, in fact, there at Build UK to get their take on the bid rigging debacle that has rendered mute the National Federation of Demolition Contractors. With the notable exception of Construction Line, and more about them a bit later, I couldn't think of anyone with the influence and heft to make the NFDC see sense and to take action on the 8 companies that have admitted involvement in the unfolding scandal. In the middle of last week, I had a breakthrough of sorts. A communications coordinator at Build UK called Mark Stevens accepted my connection request on LinkedIn. And I asked him who might be able to respond to the questions that I had. In fairness to him, he responded immediately, saying that I should drop a line to the communications department at the email address that he provided. I did. And this is what I said. Given that Susanna Nicol, who is the CEO of Build UK, given that Susanna Nicol opted to stay away from the NFDC AGM because of the then potential fallout from the CMA investigation, my questions are as follows. Now that 8 NFDC members have admitted involvement in a bid rigging scandal, will Build UK be reconsidering its alliance with the NFDC? Given Build UK's stance on anti-competitive practices and the influence the organisation wields, will Build UK be calling for the expulsion of the guilty companies from the NFDC and therefore from their own ranks? And does Build UK believe that no action should be taken against those companies that have admitted involvement, while companies that commit the same offence in the future will face sanction by the NFDC? Within seconds, I received a response to my that set my spider senses tingling, frankly. Rather than coming from the communications department to whom I'd sent the original email, the automated response came back directly from Susanna Nicol herself, explaining that she would be away until the 22nd of August. So I went back to Mark Stevens and explained that my message had apparently gone sideways and that I still needed answers. I then received a reply that read, Susanna is currently on annual leave, and I'm afraid I will not be able to come back to you on these specific points in her absence. However, you may be interested to know that Build UK has worked with Wedlake Bell LLP to publish guidance explaining some of the more common violations of competition law and the potential sanctions. We have distributed this to our members and are routinely promoting it to the wider industry to help businesses and directors understand the risks. To save you all the job, I have read the guidance in question, and I can only hope that Build UK didn't pay much for it, because it is pretty much a verbatim repeat of what exists on the CMA website. So, no answer still from Build UK, the body that likes to present itself as the arbiter of all that is good within construction. No answer either from the NFDC, the so-called voice of the demolition industry. And as it stands today, this morning, no response either from Construction Line. Now, I've spoken to Construction Line 5, possibly 6 times at various levels. I last spoke to them on Thursday last week to once again explain what I was trying to accomplish, and they too have failed to respond. Now, look, I realise that it's August and many people, Susanna Nicol included, may well be on their holidays. But is that the real reason for the prolonged and apparently choreographed silence? Or have they all just circled the wagons in the hope that we'll all just get bored and go away? Well, for the record, I am far from bored. In fact, the longer the silence, the greater my intrigue. Incidentally, on a slightly connected subject, I received a response to yesterday's column. And although the column was about the various obstacles we have put in the way of startup demolition firms, I do think it has relevance here as well. The comment came from a guy called Cameron Brown, and it reads, and you can probably sense the sarcasm in his voice, I see a storm coming. When the smoke clears, everything will change. I see a day coming when just about anyone who wants to can pay cash for an excavator. Regulations will become common sense oriented. Integrity will prevail. Greed will become extinct. Humanitarianism will rise, and love will conquer all. And then, just when I was about to vote for Cameron Brown as the next construction minister, he signs off with the following. A boy can dream, can't he? Thanks for that, Cameron. Incidentally, if you missed that column, you can find it using the link that's in the chat. Now, I think we need a bit more action in our lives. Let's play this, and I'll be back to you just in a second.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Despite the ongoing lack of rain in many parts of the UK, autumn will soon be upon us. The nights will start to draw in, the days will grow thankfully cooler, and fallen leaves will adorn the streets in a myriad of colours. Sorry, got a bit carried away there. But someone will have to deal with those leaves before they start to bung up drains and bring the UK's rail network to a grinding halt. Enter stage left, Avant Techno. wonder if that would work on the cobwebs in my head. Probably not. I've just checked while I was watching that in the background. Avant Taylor is actually with a provider of rugged devices. So if you are one of these people like me who takes mobile phones and iPads and the like on site and is constantly destroying them, go and check him out over on LinkedIn and give him tell him where you heard about him and go and give a check out to their products. I've got here about somewhere. I use an iPhone day to day, but out on site I've actually got a cat rugged mobile phone that I use mainly for photographs and video and the like, and very good it is too. So go and give them a check. Now, speaking of other newcomers, we have another one, Katie Hathaway from Axel. I know we featured one of your colleagues from Axel recently, Katie, and let me stick with tradition. As you are a newcomer, there you are. You get your welcome confetti as well. First time listening and enjoying. Yeah, the first time listening is always good. The enjoying, I can't always guarantee that, but thank you ever so much for being here, Katie. Hope you become a regular. Now, let's get back to where we were before I went off at a tangent yet again. I think we need to press a button. What say we try that one? Among the many things I have planned for my time at Bauma 2022 is trying to get to grips with the very latest developments in attachments for the demolition and construction business. Attachments are always well represented at these major exhibitions, and I'm expecting to see some exciting innovations given that I've been away from shows for almost 3 years. But based on the recent flurry of videos, I could probably spend at least a day checking out the latest attachments from the mighty Caterpillar. And the latest product line to fall under the spotlight of the company's video department is its line of grabs. That is how you grab an opportunity in the demolition business. I can't believe I said that either. Now then, demolition contractors within easy reach of Cheshire, lend me your ears because this one is for you. £15 million of your finest English quids have been set aside for the construction of a new mixed-use development in the heart of Winsford Town Centre. The completed development will include a new B&M store and garden centre, 3 new restaurants and a drive-through coffee shop as well. Eric Wright Construction and Kier Construction Northwest are battling it out for the new build portion of the works. But before any construction can commence, an existing building requires the attention of a demolition contractor, and at the time of broadcast, a suitable demolition contractor has yet to be appointed. No idea why. There are plenty of them up in that part of the world, but there you are. You can find out more about this project lead and countless more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. Alternatively, you can speak to Siobhan Jones using the number displayed at the foot of your screen. She is standing by to take your call. Our final film of the day may well bring a tear to the eye of Tristan Mays and his fellow crane huggers over at cranehub.net. A pair of cargo cranes that have stood sentinel over the port of Sunderland are no more, following a dismantling project by O'Brien Specialist Crane Services. Check this out. Beautifully executed, I think you'll agree. Now, just something that's occurred to me while I was watching that, and prompted by our friend Avant Taylor, who is here for the first time today. He works for a company called Bullet. Can I put his profile on the screen? I probably can. He's over on LinkedIn at the moment. I'm fairly sure I'll be able to do that. Bear with me while I struggle with all things technological. There you are. That's the going question. That's Avant Taylor. As I say, he works for Bullet Group, and they provide rugged devices. One of the things that's occurred to me, and I realise I have a very specific use case for mobile devices. In other words, I wander about on site, take photographs, shoot video, and that kind of thing. We are on the cusp of a mobile technology revolution within the construction industry. We've already seen apps like the Emma app from Volvo, which allows you to manage your electric machines. We've also seen, I'm struggling to remember the name of the company that did it, but there is a skid steer out there where your control screen is actually a mobile device that you put into a holder above the screen. You can use that as a remote control as well. The thing that's occurred to me is I realise, having done it myself, I have lost, broken mobile phones, generally iPhones. My wife managed to put my old iPhone, I think it was an 11, in the washing machine. That was never the same again. Awfully inconvenient. But what if you're in the business of controlling, monitoring, and managing equipment with mobile devices? You want something that lasts, do you not? I would imagine that the phone calls to Bullet Group and our friend Avant Taylor should be on the rise right about now, because I think we're going to need it.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Yeah, Nick Drew has just pointed out that I know Bobcat was one of the ones that you could control it with, but I'm fairly sure, Nick, you went to see someone else. Was it an electric? I can't remember. There was a skid steer that I'm sure you got a free mobile device with the machine. I wish I could remember who it was, but there you are. Be interesting to see how all that pans out. Now, I've got other bits and pieces that I need to get through, but first, let me. Thank you, Nick. Not just my moral compass, but also my my second brain, my backup memory. Kavako was the machine that we were talking about. So if you are a Kavako operator and you drop your mobile phone and back over it and it's destroyed, I guess your machine's stopped. You probably want a rugged one. It sounds like I'm on some sort of commission for Bullet. I'm really not. Just happened to see Aman Taylor arrive in the chat, and I'm just shooting from the hip here. Now I need to post a thing. Let me post a thing right now. It's that. So, 2 quick points before I let you get back to your working day. The first point is that our exclusive interview with model maker to the stars, Gaz Evans, is now live on YouTube. You can check that out using the link I've literally just posted in the chat. And thanks for all the very kind comments from those that have already seen the film. We don't normally get a great deal of comment on our videos after these sort of things have been broadcast, but people seem to be liking the model maker one. So, thank you very much indeed for that. Secondly, don't forget to set your alarms for 7 p.m. tomorrow night when the Breakfast Show After Dark returns for more industry chat and banter, discussion and discourse and debate and other things beginning with D. We've also got some Brock branded goodies to give away on that show too, so be sure to tune in for your chance to win. Right, that pretty much bear with me. Given that we're on the subject of all things mobile phone, here's something we did with Peter Haddock back in 2016 featuring the Cat S60 phone. That's actually the one that I've got in a cupboard here. As I say, I only ever break it out when I'm shooting video and what have you. It actually shot some of the footage that we captured at Hillhead, as it happens. I can't break the iPhone habit because my life exists in the Apple ecosystem. I'm talking to you on a Mac computer at the moment, so I can't help that. I've got an iPad next door as well. But when I go out on site and there is a risk of damaging my precious iPhone, no, the Cat S60 gets broken out. So where are we? Yes, I was just about to say that pretty much wraps up today's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues, and have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back here again tomorrow for yet more of this stuff and nonsense. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this.